Hey, it's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete, and I'm back here at the pop-up tree nursery with my longtime friend, Greg Peterson.
Hey.
We're here at the pop-up tree nursery again, but last time it was a bunch of deciduous. Stone fruits.
Yep.
And mulberries and stuff, and now it's all citrus.
Citrus, man. It is citrus time.
It's citrus time.
March is citrus time. Time to plant your citrus in.
And you got me with a nice looking one right here. What did you get me here? What did you get me?
Oh my gosh, Murcott Tangerine, I think.
And it's got a couple of fruits on them.
It does. I love it when they come in with fruit on it. Actually, a fair amount of them came in with fruit on them.
Now, if you were going to plant this in your yard, would you pick the fruit off to give strength to the tree?
Well, yeah, it's ready to eat, man.
Let's do it right now.
Pick it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's show the crowd what this looks like.
Eat the fruit, man.
It is easy to peel.
Yeah, it's very easy to peel. This is a gold nugget mandarin. The crew's going to peel it in a little while, but it's also very easy to peel.
That one looks awesome.
Oh, it's an awesome one.
Guess what? When I bought my citrus from you a couple of years ago, I planted one from the pop-up tree nursery.
Did you?
It's now in year 3.
Nice.
It puts off like a lumpy, delicious fruit like that. Yeah,
that's right. It's kind of gnarly looking. Uh-oh. What do we got here?
We got to do a taste test. It's good. With cheese.
Oh my God. No, you got to share more of it with me. Thank you. I'm not going to let you get it all.
I'm really bad at not sharing with the camera lady too. There you go. So I'm going to bring this back to Longevity Gardens in Tempe.
Fantastic.
I'm going to plant it. But before I go, I want to show the folks how many kinds of citrus you have.
Oh my gosh.
You have blood oranges.
We do.
And you have different kinds of lime quats and kumquats and mandarin quats and all kinds of stuff.
Tangerines. And mandarins.
Like not just tangerines, but
limes.
Yes. Yeah. And different varieties of all this.
All kinds of different
like
varieties.
This one, cut Mycorrhizae, if we go over here.
Yeah.
It's called the variegated lemon.
Yeah.
And it will always have leaves like this, right?
Oh yeah.
People go crazy for these things. It's called a
variegated pink
Eureka
lemon.
And what's some of your favorite as far as citrus goes?
Citrus, Trovita orange, absolutely wonderful. It's a peeling orange. It's got a few seeds in it, so it's like navel, but it's got a few seeds, and it ripens a couple of months after navel, which makes it really nice. Navels come in November, December, January. Trovitas come in like in January, February.
And that's the goal, to get them in ripening different times.
Exactly.
So you always have ripe fruit.
Successive ripening.
Right.
Exactly.
Cool.
And then another one of my favorite ones is this. It's the gold nugget mandarin.
Which is cool. When we put it in healthy soil at my house, it's going to be full of azomite, rock dust minerals, and all kinds of stuff. It'll be even better tasting.
Fantastic.
And you also have one tree that I love. I want to show the audience right now. So
please
come with us. It's these little guys right here.
Yep.
I started using these peach trees to fill gaps in my yard. So anytime there's like a gap, I put a bonanza peach, and I'm up to like 10 bonanza peach trees.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, hold on here. What do you do with all the peaches?
I'm the vegan athlete, so usually they go in my belly. But if you did have too many, you can make peach jam, peach pie. You can dehydrate them, which I like to do, is dehydrate them in the sun.
Nice. Yep.
And then take them on my epic hikes I go on every summer in the Southwest.
Here's what we do with them at the urban farm.
Let's hear it.
We'll pick the peaches when they're really ripe. We cut them in half. The seed pops out. We put them on a cookie tray and stick them in the freezer.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we freeze them.
Without any covering or not?
Nope.
Just straight in there?
Just straight in there. Okay. Then 24 hours later, we pull them out. They're frozen. We put them in jars. I put them in gallon jars and keep them in the freezer. And then we use them for our green drinks.
Wow. Nice. So then you just make your green smoothie.
Yep, we make our green smoothie with peaches out of the yard, kale out of the yard, spinach out of the yard. Yeah. Strawberries out of the yard.
See, this is important because if you go to a juice bar, you get a frozen smoothie, but 80% of it is ice.
Right.
They just pack the blender full of ice. So you're only getting a little bit of fruit. If you freeze your fruits, it's 100% fruit.
Exactly.
Way better nutrients.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There's no filler. So these guys are the Bonanza miniature peaches, and you have some larger ones.
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
And you have some smaller ones.
Yeah.
So
absolutely
what I found too is that these guys produce a beautiful tree, and the peaches are actually big, even though the tree is small.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
All right, Greg, behind us are the 3 different sizes folks can get
from our program.
Home from your tree program.
Yeah, exactly. So this one right here, that's a 5 gallon. 5 gallons, you see the trunk? It's about a 1/2 inch trunk and about, what, 3.5 feet tall?
How many years old would you say this tree is?
Probably 2.
Okay.
This is probably a 3 to 4 year old tree.
In the
15 gallon. You'll notice the trunk is bigger.
It's like 3 times bigger.
It's like 3 times bigger.
At least.
And it's, up to 6 feet.
Yeah.
And then these right here, these are the 24 inch box trees. So you'll notice the trunk's bigger and they're even taller.
Yeah.
I mean, look at a couple of these.
This is like a full-fledged tree already.
Oh yeah. If you can afford the price on them, they're a little bit more pricey, but you get a lot more tree.
Let me tell you, so 3 years ago I bought trees from your citrus pop-up nursery.
Yeah.
And I got the Clementine Tangerine.
Uh-huh.
My favorite citrus my whole year.
Oh, nice.
And where do folks find out about the fruit tree program?
urbanfruittrees.org.
Good, you can get it on the screen right now or click on it in the description below the video or in the comments. And then you're in Phoenix, about 7th Street and
Camelback.
Camelback.
That's where they pick them up. Yeah.
So if you're in any part of the valley, west, east, pretty centrally located, but only for a limited time.
Right, so it's a pop-up nursery, so we're only open 5 weekends a year.
Okay.
So they have to pre-order their trees in the fall and early spring, so
At
January, February.
urbanfruittrees.org.
At urbanfruittrees.org.
Okay.
And then they come and pick them up in January and March.
I love it, and every trip I've ever got from you has thrived.
Woohoo!
So that's
Love
awesome.
it.
Thanks for having me out.
It's the wood chips, man.
I'm gonna go plant this tangerine tree, Murcott Tangerine. So 1, 2, 3, let's go back. I'm back here at Longevity Gardens with all the hobbits. It's a dog pile, dog fest. All right, get out of here. And we got the tree here. And my goal this spring and summer with Longevity Gardens, my home edible landscape here in Tempe, the goal is to not plant any new trees that need new water. We have too many trees. We're trying to get a little more tight and conservative about our water usage. And so I'm only planting trees from this point on that can share the already existing water source of another tree. So I've got a hedge here of acerola cherry or Barbados cherry that still has not begun to leave out yet for the spring. Any week now it'll start to get its leaves back. And there's one bubbler right here. See this guy? This one bubbler. And this one bubbler feeds all 3 of these Barbados cherry trees. So I'm gonna plant this tangerine, Murcott Tangerine from Greg Peterson and the urbanfruittrees.org. I'm gonna plant it right here where you see it, right here. Because that is going to be close enough to share this water source, and now all 4 of these trees can grow together on one bubbler. I'll be more conservative with water. I'll have 4 trees of fruit, but only 1 tree worth of water. So let's get to planting this tree right now. I'm gonna dig the hole nice and big, plant them right here, use tons of mulch, and there are 3 things that you guys want to keep watching for, because I'm going to add 3 things to the soil that's going to ensure that this tree will jumpstart its growth from the beginning, will grow healthy leaves with fruit as quickly and abundantly as possible. There are 3 things I'll show you guys that we're going to put in the hole with the tree, so stay tuned. It's okay, little guy, you're going to make it. Your one flower is going to grow into a delicious... Oh, hey guys, it's Jake Mace on day 2 here, planting this tangerine tree from Greg Peterson's urbanfruittrees.org pop-up nursery program. And I'm so tired from digging this hole right here. I need some nutrients, and so my lovely wife Pam, who's also videoing this episode for you guys, made kale chips from the garden with spices. And they're really fantastic. I've been eating them like they're a drug, so addicting. Pam, what's on these things?
Nutritionalized yeast, oil, Cajun spice, garlic powder, and salt.
And then we dehydrated them. So good. So one of the great uses of food in the garden could be kale chips. You know how expensive those are in the store? For me, they're almost free. Just our labor and our love. So we got the hole dug. I promised you guys I would show you the 3 secret ingredients that I'm gonna add to this hole to make sure that this tangerine tree, it's a Murcott tangerine, doesn't go into shock, thrives from the beginning, and is able to last all summer and take the heat as our temperatures get warmer in the Phoenix area here. So check it out, I planted them right next to the bubbler. So now half the water will go into the tangerine, the other half will go into my Barbados cherry hedge, which is yet to bud out for the springtime. And the first of our 3 secret ingredients is this, Mycorrhizae. This is one that we have found. You can get it from jakemace.com for $7. This will do about half a dozen trees, so more or less about $1 per tree. A great investment, and this will jumpstart the microbe ecology in your soil, the beneficial fungus in your soil. So I open it up, it's in a nice package that reseals so you can store it in a dark, cool, dry place. It's got 5 different kinds of beneficial fungus and an organic fertilizer. And I put about this much for a new tree, okay? So we're gonna put this, half of this in the bottom of the hole, and then the other half I'm gonna save for later to actually put on the root ball. In addition to that, I have the Azomite rock dust minerals, and we have this in manageable bags in $10 bags at jakemace.com as well. So I put about this much in the bottom of the hole. And this is the micronized version, which absorbs really well. And I've really found over the last 5 years that these two things, the Azomite rock minerals and the Mycorrhizae, or Mycorrhizae, are really secrets. I mean, they're very cheap and inexpensive per tree. Like, they're gonna add about $3 per tree of cost, but you're gonna literally see explosions of growth, root growth, leaf growth, health into the extreme temperatures of hot and cold, and also fruit production. So check these out, put them in your trees. Do one with the Mycorrhizae and Azomite, one without, and see what the benefits are. The good thing is that when you're growing in the rock dust minerals, you're adding health to the soil, and so when you eat the fruit, you'll have healthier fruit. And the third secret ingredient is just getting some biodynamic active organic compost, and put about 20% of your soil as compost. So when you mix in the native soil back into the hole, make 20% of it compost. It'll add some life and food to your tree and give those microbes and the bugs you can see nutrients and food so they can thrive and create an ecosystem down there. It's at this stage of our planting process that I put in the other half of the Mycorrhizae here on the root ball itself. Check it out. Here's how I do it. You guys will get this bag from me at jakemace.com, and then you'll sprinkle the other half on the root ball all around the trunk of the tree. And personally, a little Jake Mace special, I feel like it needs to have one little pocket. So I usually put like one little pocket on either side. Got a little bit of a pile. There we go. That should be all we need. Now, I only use about 1/5 or 1/6 of the bag. So you guys can see I have a ton left in there for about 4 or 5 more trees. Depends on how liberal you want to be. If I were you, I would get a few bags of this and maybe use, definitely don't skimp on it. Use enough that you know you're going to do some damage. It's only $1 or $2 per tree. If you're going to buy a tree that's in a 15-gallon pot like this tangerine is, an extra $2 or $3 for Mycorrhizae for the tree is a good investment. All right, you guys, come on in here nice and tight. Let me show you something. This is really important right here. See this? Those are all the feeder roots on top there, and I didn't bury those with soil. I don't want to put native clay on that. I don't want to drown out the tree, but I will put mulch on top of that. And so mulch, compost, native soil, 3 different things. And it's good that you guys know the difference. Mulch is all the leaves, pine needles, and wood chips on top. And compost is the food, is the black organic matter that's been derived from nitrogen source and carbon source, like you would compost at home. And native dirt is the brown clay that comes out of the ground. So we want to keep that exposed, only cover it with mulch. And the next important thing I wanted to teach you guys was what I'm doing right now. The ability to squat down the ground. So I remember being in Chinese class in college. I was studying abroad in Beijing Mandarin, and they had a word for this squat. I think it's called dun. So it's like a cultural thing in China. Everybody squats. I noticed a lot of my American friends don't have the ability to squat like this. Their back, knees, and ankles don't let them do it. So if you have the ability to squat down, as is the custom in China, you'll be a much better gardener because you can get down and dirty with the soil for a long period of time. So here's the moment of truth. I'm going to cut this last piece of tape off and see if the tree can hold himself up without the stake. I think he can because he's in a 15-gallon, but my goal is to take this stake off without breaking the branches off. So there we go. Now I have this stake to reuse on my tomato plants. And this guy looks like he's taking it pretty good. And then what will happen is that the first time it's windy, I'll come out here and I'll assess how the wind is treating him, and if the wind is being too brutal and if the wind is changing the alignment of the trunk, I'll stake him just until he's got enough strength in the new hole. So now let's get to mulching, and then we'll water him and we'll be all finished up. And if you guys want a tree like this is a Murcott Tangerine. I was talking to my friend Doug Jones from the Arizona Rare Fruit Growers of which tangerine should I get, and he recommended of the types that I had the ability to buy, the Murcott Tangerine was his favorite of the 4 that I told him. And so he liked the Murcott. I also have a Clementine Tangerine up front. That's one of my and my wife's all-time favorites, the Clementines. Now we have a Tangerine Murcott and a Tangerine Clementine. We're ready to take over the world with tangerines. We're all done. It's time to go into cleanup mode, because if you want to be given permission by your loved ones to keep planting trees, you got to clean up your mess. So our last step is right here. Check this out. We're going to turn on this bubbler and spraying out. Half of it going to Barbados Cherry Land, half of it going to Tangerine World, and the other half going to the subterranean civilization of beneficial fungus under the soil. That's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys check me out on Facebook at the Urban Gardening in Arizona Facebook group. This tree looks really good. I'm looking forward to eating this other orange here. I'm gonna pick this orange off after the camera turns off so that it gives strength to the leaves. And also check me out on Instagram at Jake Mace Tai Chi and youtube.com/veganathlete. And if you want to order the Mycorrhizae from us in that $7 bag or the $10 bag of Azomite rock dust minerals, you can order it from jakemace.com. Just go to the gardening store. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you for our next video. Looks so good.